Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to Cooking with Gordy. That's what we're going to call this. So, now in the last video we made fried bread, which was literally like 10 minutes ago. I'm doing this uh, the same day. They're right back there, right there, our bread that we made. And then we also made guacamole. Now, I could honestly have eaten that for dinner because it was really good. But we are going to make chicken vegetables with rice, and I'm going to show you what to do. So for right now, we have an onion, garlic, two main things. Half the tomato that we didn't use. We're going to use some green onion. We have celery and we have carrots that we're going to use. And then I have the chicken over here, and I'll show you that in a second. Back here, let me just turn this real quick. Kind of aim down. Back here, this is going to be where we're going to cook everything. Back in this pot, we're going to have some broccoli. We're going to make that, we're going to boil it until it's tender. And then this is our rice. I already got the broccoli water going, and I have the rice going because that's going to take a little bit of time. So what we're going to do, or what I'm going to do, is I'm going to get started. I'm going to chop all the vegetables, get that going, and then get the chicken ready. So let's get to it. So let's turn face down. There we go. So I made this. I honestly made this the other day. Hold on. We'll aim the camera down. There we go. So I made this the other day for lunch. I thought it was really good, and I'm like, this is something that I definitely would want to cook on, for the show, or whatever you want to call this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take about, not that carrot has a hole in it, about 2 carrots. I'm going to wash them real quick. And then, run away. I'm going to peel them. So what I like this trick a lot. So I want to peel the first layer of skin because it still has some ridges, some dirt, and then just gonna discard those. Now, if you were one of those people that don't waste anything, you could definitely use that for stock, like vegetable stock. I, however, do not know how to make it, so I'm not gonna worry about it now. So what I'm doing is I'm grating or skinning the carrot because I don't want chunks like circle chunks. I don't want those in my what do you call it, with my chicken. I want something that's really light and nice as a carrot. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just giving the rice a little stir. Now for bagged rice, you have that boiling bag, and then the traditional bag rice. So I'm only making a cup. It's a cup of rice, which is 3 servings. So I'm doing a cup of rice and with 2 cups of water. That's the portion. With I think a tablespoon or a little less than a tablespoon of butter. So that's already in the pan. That's going. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that once we have everything go. Now, what I mean by the circles, I meant like this. Like this. I don't want my carrot to be circles. I'm going to show you a neat way to cut carrots to make them pretty much non-existent, but still give you the nice flavor to your dish. Alright, so we're going to get rid of that, and then as you can see, I'm layering these, layering, wow, can't speak, all together, or trying to. That way, we just take our knife and roughly chop them into little squares. They cook better this way, and they get tender and nice, and it's delicious. Alright. Just kind of, it's okay if, like, I'm okay with having big chunks of carrot. So, like, you see, you know, they're nice, they're thin, and they're ready to go. So I'm going to push those off to the side. No, you can't see it, but in the big pan where I said that I was going to make the vegetables, I'm just going to turn it on to medium heat, and then I'm going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil in it, and just so it coats the pan. I know you guys can't see that, but it's not really that important. Well, it is, but it's not. So next, I'm going to do some celery. Now, celery, I really like celery. You do have to clean it first. I'm going to do 3 stalks of celery. Or whatever you want to call it. Now, I do the celery first, like cook it, because it does take a while, a little bit, for the celery to get tender. So I'm going to wash it real quick. Just get it nice and ready to work with. Alright, so I like to, when I cut my celery, I like to cut off the ends about halfway. Just kind of get rid of where the roots are and whatnot. And then I do the same thing for the top, which I don't think anything's wrong with this piece, like this. I, however, just don't want it. So I'm just going to chop those up. And then I'm going to cut these very thinly, or try to. Until like half moons. It's been, well, it hasn't been that long since I've had celery, but I used to like eating celery with cream cheese, but I always hated celery because of the, sometimes you get those string celery, like when you bite into it and it's just that long, thin piece of celery that's like stuck between your teeth or whatnot. So that's the annoying part of celery. But chopping it like this, it's a-okay. Alright, so I'm going to get this already ready. I'm gonna drop this into the pan, which should be sizzling. Ooh, you hear that? I love dropping things into pans and let them sizzle. I really do. It's so nice. It's such a soothing sound. It really is. Okay, I'm gonna drop that in. I'm not gonna drop in the carrots yet. Not yet. Alright, so that's that. I've got the... So, I'm going to do the broccoli next. And the only reason why I'm going to do the broccoli is because it has to go in the water to get tender. So, let's give it a wash, a rinse. So, I'm going to cut off the stem. We don't need this. And then you can either break it apart like this, or you can cut it, depending on how you are. I'm just going to break it off like this, because it's going to be easier than to actually chopping and getting everything off. Alright, so I'm going to drop these into the water. It's not boiling yet, but it's okay. It's almost to a boil. I'm going to give our celery a stir. Gonna give our rice the stir too. Discard some of that. Next, I'm going to chop. That's gonna be enough broccoli, so I'm gonna put the other head of broccoli away. Alright, so next I'm going to chop. I got the celery, so I'll put this on. We'll do the onion. So, easy way to chop an onion for any of you who don't know. I'm going to get rid of the sticker. Actually, I'm going to put the carrots away too. Sorry, cleaning as I'm going. It's always good to do. Always good to do. Alright, so you want to cut the two ends off. Okay? Just like that. That way you can place it on the cutting board. And then take your knife and cut it in half. We're not going to use the whole onion, so I'm going to bag up half the onion. And by the way, if anyone is wondering, these are yellow onions. So I'm sure you could use. I'm going to have to turn on the fan in here. It's a little smoky. Sorry, just stirring everything. Alright, so then what you do is you take where the skin is of the onion and you pull it apart. Now, a lot of people take off the first layer of the onion because of how the skin is. It's okay if you take off the first layer. See? You have like the first layer of the onion and then the skin. It's okay if you take off that layer because it's usually stuck together. But, you know, just informing you all. I'm going to drop my carrots in. Start getting those to cook. Give this a nice stir. Don't worry, I'll let you guys see everything in a minute. And then what I like to do is I like to cut it a long way. So you have it in the chunks. And then turn it. And then just roughly chop. I like thin pieces because it's easier to cook. You definitely can cut it how you want. Just like that. Alright, and then just give it a nice rough chop. And there is no key on cutting onions to make you not cry. It's always going to happen, so best advice is to do it quickly. Alright, so I'm going to throw the onions in. Give that a nice stir. I'm going to turn down the rice. Alright, and then I'm going to cut one green onion. That's all we need. I like to chop off the top a little and then cut the bottom. And then just kind of roughly chop it. I know it's hard for you guys to see because my hand's in the way. Alright, and then we're just going to add this into the pan. Alright, give that a nice stir as well. Alright, so now I'm going to put the onions away. Give me 1 second. Alright, sorry. Just going to turn on something else. So then we're going to do the garlic. And I like a lot of garlic. I am a garlic person. Garlic is just, I think it's delicious. So we're going to break it just like that. Take your knife and slam it into the garlic. That way it breaks open the shell and then you can cut it. Nope, there's a little more in there. And as you can see, I didn't measure any of these ingredients out. I just, whatever I like, I just put it in. Alright, and then we can add that to the pan. I was going to say pot. Alright. It smells delicious. Let's get the rest of these. Alright, and then I'm going to chop the tomato. And yes, we are going to cook the tomato too. But we're going to save that for last. So I'm actually going to get a small bowl. Sorry, just washing my hand. Alright, so I'm going to leave those there. Close the cabinets. I'm going to take a sip of my water. Alright, so the rice is done. The rice is done. It is, it looks really good. So that is good. I'm going to turn that off. And you're probably wondering, oh, is this going to be cold? I think the broccoli's done too. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to cut my chicken. So I got 2 chicken breasts here, I believe. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them into cubes. So I'm going to take my knife and run it down lengthwise of the chicken. Easiest way to get cubes. And just run it down like that. And then I like to turn the chicken into cubes like that. And do the same thing with this. Right. And then I'm going to wash my hands real quick. And then I'm going to show you, or turn the computer to show you what's happening. Alright, so we're going to move this down here. We're going to turn that up like that. Alright, so we have our rice, like I said, we have our vegetables, and we have our broccoli. There's a little bit of the skin of the vegetable, onion. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, I'm going to take a bowl. I know, I'm in my dishwasher. I'm going to take a bowl, and I'm going to turn on the broccoli. Take the vegetables and put them in the bowl. I know you guys can't. I guess you guys can see a little. All right, just like that. All right. So I'm gonna hit the chicken into the pan. Do I want a little more oil? No, we don't need oil. So I'm gonna just like that. I'm gonna coat it or salt it, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. Ooh, too much. Parsley flakes, and then that is it. So then I'm just gonna break this up because I know the knife can go all the way through because these knives suck. Let that cook for a second. Alright, done. Okay, so now, we have our vegetables, we have the broccoli that I'm going to drain, and I'm going to add them to the vegetables. So we're going to take this, drain it. Right, I'm just going to leave those there. We have to let the chicken cook. We have to cook the chicken all the way through. But it is very unhealthy for you to have chicken that is raw. We have our bread that we made. Still delicious. Alright, so that's good. We just have to wait for the chicken, and we're almost done. Again, I made this. Let me get the good chair. I made this the other day for lunch. I didn't add the tomato because I had it, but I forgot that I had it, so I left that away. But I did carrots, celery, onion, garlic, not fried them, sauteed them into a pan, made chicken, made some rice, threw it all together into one pan, and kind of let it sit. I wanted to um, use tomatoes. Like I had the little like cherry tomatoes or whatever they're called, and I wanted to use those, but I completely forgot them. And I had them out too, but I completely forgot them. So I said, you know what, I will add them in when I get a chance when I make this again. And since I'm home by myself, I said, you know what, let me make it and I'll record it. So that's what we're doing. We're just letting the chicken cook a little bit. It's chicken like this doesn't take that long. I feel like cooking is probably cooking. I feel like cooking. I feel like chicken is fast at cooking. It I don't know. That's just my preference. Maybe because I have the heat high or something. But I feel like chicken is done within um, 5-10 minutes. But so I'm going to, because there's a lot of water in here. I'm going to take the broccoli and just put it in the bowl, and then I'm going to take the strainer and drain the chicken real quick. You want to get that water out. Add it back to the pan and back to the heat. If you hear it sizzle a little or not, that's okay. Alright, so next we have, it's not done yet, a few more minutes. I have a little piece of bread. A piece of chicken just fell out of the pan. Discard that. So this is looking really good. This is looking really good. And again, you could probably use anything. I mean, it doesn't have to be chicken. It could be ground beef. It could be pork. It could even be ground chicken, honestly. Just something that's good. You can make this however you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the vegetables back in here. All right, I put the broccoli in here. Let that cook up just a little bit. And then I'm going to get the tomatoes. So get those going. And again, we're not really cooking the broccoli or the tomatoes. We're just going to heat them up a little. So it smells delicious. Especially since the vegetables hit the pan. We're going to give that a minute or two, maybe 3, maximum 5. Just so everything kind of marinates together. The broccoli is cooking. The tomatoes are cooking. So what I like to do, this is my preference, but you don't have to do it this way. This is completely up to you. Anyone who makes this. I'm going to take my rice and I'm going to dump this into the pot pan and then move this around. Now, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. You don't have to make everything together. Oops. It's completely up to you. It's still going to taste good nonetheless. Need a bigger pan. That's what I'm doing. All right. So I'm actually going to take this. That's what it looks like. So that's, I know, I'm sorry, I'm shaking, but there we go. It's probably not in focus, but it's okay. But that's what it looks like. You know, you're kind of cooking the rice as well, um, kind of browning it, I should say. Pan's overcrowded though, so it's okay. I'm gonna just put this back on like so. Awesome. Alright, so it's pretty much done. So what I like to do is I'm gonna get a plate, small plate. And I'm gonna take just this is for macaroni, but I'm gonna take it nice handful or spoonful and do it like that. And then that's not what I need. I'm going to take a little bit of French onions, French fried onions, I should say. Add those to the top, and we are done. So let us review what we made. Let's get comfortable again. That's not what you want to see. There we go. Actually, give me 1 second. I'm gonna let you look at the time. Okay, I'm back now. Yeah, whatever. Alright, and let me turn the fan off. Alright, so this is what we made. This is what it looks like. This what it looks like done, I should say. So, again, let's recap what we did, or what's in here. There's some celery, there is carrots, there's onions, there is broccoli, tomato, garlic, with some chicken and some rice. Now, like I said, if any of you plan to make this, I didn't measure anything out. It's what you want. A lot of this is vegetables. The only thing I really measured out was the rice. And they have it to where you could have that boil and bag rice. I don't have that at the moment. So I just use plain old rice in the bag that you have to measure out. But probably use like a bag or two of this to equal what's in the pan, and you're done. It's a simple and easy meal that everyone should love. Get your kids to eat your vegetables. So let's taste this. And remember, I'm not a chef. I am not perfect. If we're missing something, I'll say it. If it tastes good to my liking, then hey, it tastes good to my liking. You might want more pepper or salt or whatnot, because I know that some people like a lot of salt in things, some people don't. But all right, let's get a piece of chicken. Or okay, or not. Wow. That was just chicken. Chicken tastes really good. It tastes like you could definitely taste the pepper, taste a little bit of salt. Not very the garlic. Well, yeah, the garlic powder, the onion powder that I put on. You really can't taste that, but All in all, it's good. Now let's try and get a piece with everything on it. Okay. So that's pretty much the rice and the vegetables. Pretty hot. No, that is good. The vegetables have a lot more flavor than the chicken. But they're all tender, so they all kind of melt in your mouth. You don't have to have it like that too. If you want to, I mean, you can cook the celery if you want that crunch with the celery or even the broccoli. You know, don't cook it all the way through, and just kind of cook it for like probably 5-10 minutes, and then put it off to the side, and then throw it back in last, how we did with everything, to kind of give you that nice crunch, that fresh flavor. But again, you don't have to do it like that. I think this tastes amazing how it is. The tomato, I can't really taste the tomato. Let me see. No, because they are hot. So I would say this. I would say it tastes good how it is. I would say that. It really does. But if I were to make this again and do something different, I would probably leave the tomatoes out and put them in at the very end, like when you're ready to serve, to kind of give you that cool freshness flavor. The broccoli, I might even leave the broccoli out. Broccoli doesn't really have flavor. That's probably one thing I did wrong. Probably should have probably either salted the broccoli, the water, or just salted the broccoli when it came out. So the broccoli tastes bland, but I'm okay with that because it still adds that freshness to the dish because it wasn't like sauteed or fried in the pan. So I'm okay with that. Otherwise, I think it's really good. Now you could use any kind of fruit or vegetable. I mean, you could add in zucchini, you could add in squash, you can add in peppers, whatever you want. I mean, the more vegetables, the better. But these are just stuff that I had on hand, and that turned out well. And the good thing is the French onions, the nice crunch that it gives. But I would like to see a nice crunch with either the broccoli or the nice freshness with the tomato. I feel like that would definitely complete the dish well, in my opinion. And I know you're probably sitting here going, well, why didn't you do that in the first place? I'm like, you're right, I probably should have. But this is only it's my own version. So you could do whatever you want. Next time I make this, I'll probably do exactly what I said that I would do. Leave out the tomatoes until the end. Salt the broccoli, give it at least some kind of flavor, and then what else did I say? I like the celery with the tenderness. So if you don't, if you like that crunch with the celery, go ahead and cook it, leave it out, whatnot. Or add in whatever kind of vegetables you want, I'm debating because, like, I just thought of, like, what if mango was in here? Now, mangoes are really good, but I'm not sure. That might add a little bit of sweetness to it, which, that might not taste bad. So, yeah. Alright, well, I am all out of time for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun doing this, especially since I just made some fried bread and guacamole before. But I'll be honest with you, I probably didn't really have to make this, honestly. Probably didn't really have to make this. Because I could have eaten bread and the guacamole for dinner, and it still would have been good. But I'm proud of myself. I am proud. Mm. Alright, so like I said, I'm all out of time for this video. The next video I'm going to be making, I think I have all the stuff too. Let me get the book. And I will show you what we'll be making. So the next video I make, which I don't know when, maybe sometime next week at least, we're going to be making buzzard bites. That's what they look like. Hold on. That's wrong page. That's what they look like. I was trying to fix this page, and I wanted to fix that page. I made these last week, and they were pretty good. The sauce that comes with that they tell you to make, it's with apple cider and balsamic vinegar, and ketchup, with a pinch of salt, pepper, and nutmeg. Cooking it smelled terrible because of the apple cider and the vinegar. It just it smelled really gross. But it's actually really good with the meatballs, because that's pretty much what they are. It pairs very well with it because, you have ground turkey, breadcrumbs, bacon, an egg, powdered onion powder, and garlic powder. And you have that saltiness of that plus the sweetness of the sauce. It was really, really good. I was like, this is gonna be gross because it smelled gross, but it was actually delicious. So that's what we'll be making next. I have all the stuff except the bacon. So I'm gonna buy like one of those half things of bacon, and then cook it and show you all what I'm gonna do. And then there is another recipe that I do want to share with you guys that I want to make, but it's not going to be, it probably won't be for, not next week, but maybe the week after. Only because I just made it yesterday, so we're going to have to kind of let it settle or go away. But it's really good. It's almost similar to this, except without the broccoli. There's celery in it. There is onion, garlic, and oh my god, what else? Carrots, but there's no rice and there's no chicken. It's actually ground beef with tomato sauce and orzo noodles. So I'll be making that probably in a few weeks. Otherwise, I think I'm going, like I said, I'm definitely going to make the buzzard bites next week. I'm off Wednesday, so maybe I'll make them Wednesday. And then I might figure out something else that I can make. I know that Christmas is coming up, and they do have Christmas recipes in here, or what they call Winter's Veil in World of Warcraft. So there are recipes that are in here for that, but I might make that maybe the week of Christmas, I'm guessing, depending on when I work, of course, or maybe like the week before Christmas to kind of get in that Christmas mood, and then maybe I'll make a dessert. I think that sounds good, but I'm still planning it out, and maybe I'll make a drink, some kind of a good drink that would pair well with this. But yeah, that is all. Now, completely. That is all for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day whenever this comes out, if it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or sometime next week. Enjoy your day, enjoy your week, enjoy your weekend. Remember to be the best you that you can be, and I will see you all in the next cooking video. Bye!